Blame Truth here, and when it rains, it pours with Activision news. Currently, it's about a Category 5 hurricane, I would say. But before I get into the meat and potatoes, I want to get some stuff out of the way, and you can use the timestamps below if you want to skip all this mess. Don't be a TikTok brain rot moron and start complaining about the length of the video or tell me to get to the point. How about you get to the point of my middle finger in your face if you don't like how long my shit is, okay? Let's just get that out of the way. But I want to cover some just kind of updates. First and foremost, if you are not subscribed, you should do that if you're a regular viewer because we are nearing 500,000 subscribers, 500,000. I never really ask you guys to sub except at the very end because I don't really give a shit, but this is kind of a milestone, so I kind of give a shit now. So hit that subscribe button, please. I'd appreciate it. As for my hacked Twitter, you guys have been following that fiasco. Don't really plan on getting it back. Twitter support's useless, and I don't really care enough to keep hounding him about it, so I'm just not going to get it back. I just don't care. I do have an Instagram, though, if you want to follow me there, but it's only for my photography, particularly my street photography. I got into that about a month ago. Posted some photos on the street photography subreddit, kind of anonymously. Nobody knew it was me, really. And it took off. I got like 600 upvotes or something like that. Apparently, I'm pretty good. So I'm going to keep that up. It cheers me up after my dog passed away in February. As you guys know, if you follow anything, my personal life, me and Buddy used to hike and camp and just constantly be outside. It's hard to do those same things now that he's not here without getting a little sad about it. You know what I'm saying? So the whole photography thing helps me kind of just get outside and it's not reminding me of my dog and stuff. But anyway, yeah, I think that about covers it. So without further ado, I got a lot I want to get off my chest. So before I get into the big story here, I just want to cover some Black Ops 6 news. I'm sorry. I know you guys probably are just completely checked out of that shitty fucking game, but I need to give you, the rundown of what's going on. So Season 4, it has been confirmed through a really bad cinematic that Stitch is coming back as an operator in Season 4. I've not heard that name since like 2021. I don't follow the stupid cutscenes. I don't follow the campaign. I don't follow the story. I don't really care about Call of Duty story ever since like Black Ops 2. I haven't really given a shit about it personally. So whatever there. I mean, they're still banking off nostalgia. It's they can't think of anything new. I saw that they're bringing back WMD as a multiplayer map. Didn't we just get that in Cold War, like their last game? There's why can't they give us anything new? Why can't they even give us something new that's old? It just makes no sense why they rehash the same boring stuff over and over. But they do. Regardless, Stitch is coming back in Season 4. WMD is coming back in Season 4. I bring up the Stitch thing because I have not heard that name since 2021. And I hope they don't get the original character model actor to portray him again because the man was a complete psychopath. If you don't remember what happened back in 2021, or maybe you're new to the channel and you have no idea what I'm talking about, let me catch you up to speed on the juicy drama. About 3 or 4 years ago, dude went apeshit on me because I criticized the Modern Warfare 2019 community manager and one of the lead devs for basically not communicating and lying to us. And I was very vocal about that, as were other people. A lot of people were super upset at Infinity Ward in 2019 for the lack of transparency, the lies, the bad communication. Everything was just a disaster back then. If you were playing the game at the time, you know what I'm talking about. The gaslighting of the SBMM, they wouldn't admit it to us. Apparently, they were under NDA or something like that, and they couldn't talk about it. The point is that this dude flipped the fuck out on me, went apeshit, threatened me, tried to bully me, all this terrible stuff. And I covered it in this video, and as you can see from the screenshot, from the likes to dislikes, 99% of people pretty much agreed with me that I was in the right there. So I bring this up because I got some interesting comments on this video, and it was from people that knew this guy in real life. So this is why I hope they don't bring him back to play this character, Activision, I mean. So, in trying to look up and see if they were going to do that, I found this thread about the guy on Reddit from like 3 years ago. And the people that knew him in real life or had interactions with him in real life, well, you got to see this. In a thread talking about this guy, someone was confused if this guy was the voice actor for Stitch or just the character model. Apparently, he was telling everyone he was both, which was a lie. Look at this. So this guy says, "It is quite simple. MJ is lying and convincing unwitting and uninformed video game fans to give him interviews, or he is delusional. The casting director and I have laughed over how insane he is to continue this farce and lie even when he has been told to stop by Activision and the casting director. He is not the voice of Stitch. Chris Parson is the voice." This guy who knows him in real life says, and he actually left a comment on that video covering this, something similar to this, but this guy says, "This guy's name is," I'm going to leave it out for prosperity's sake, "and he's the most angry, delusional man I've ever met. He has to control everything, and if he loses control, he cusses you out, threatens court," which he's lost every time, by the way, "and has these angry, psychotic outbursts of rage. He tells everyone in his personal life that he's the voice actor for Stitch and is the most successful COD character of all time. All this man cares about is his image because he's a sociopath. He artificially changes his voice to make it deeper and works out to be more intimidating. I have videos of him talking normal and it's hilarious. I'm sorry you and your husband have had to deal with him. Just know he won't stop unless taken to court, and he stands behind his rich parents who purchased 3 homes for him because he can't get one himself and lived with them for 2 years while he was playing Stitch, LOL. He's a nobody, yet treats everyone like complete shit and bullies you into submission. I think I'm the man he hates most in life because I'm the only one that doesn't deal with his BS and calls him out on it to his face, and it eats him alive." That's pretty funny. This necessary parking account is actually the wife of Chris Parson, the actual voice actor for Stitch. And she says, "Thank you for saying this. This MJ guy is crazy and delusional. I'm married to Chris Parson, and it is a never-ending battle to get this guy to shut up and stop lying that he is the voice. Chris actually takes a lot of pride in his work, and it is crazy for this guy to even continue this charade. He's been told to stop by Activision and the casting director involved, and he persists to this day. It is very, very sad, but I guess this is the world we live in now where people can continue to lie and get away with it." Again, I had to run in with him, and it was pretty similar to what this Scotty guy is saying. Just an absolute insane, crazy person. The only thing I can think of for why he did that to me is he was trying to get into Activision's good graces again after essentially being blackballed a little bit for lying and stuff and told to stop doing this. Just clearly he has some mental issues. Clearly he has a compulsive lying issue as well. So, I really hope Activision doesn't rehire this person, maybe get some other guy to mocap him or something, I don't know, but at the same time, I wouldn't put it past Activision to rehire him because they employ people that literally threatened gun violence in, like, the Slack group chat, and I covered that in great detail, unfortunately. Yeah, a lot of people were threatening to shoot people based on their political ideologies. Just insanity. Absolute insanity. I want nothing to do with these people. You know, a lot of people say, like, BT, you should be nicer to the devs. They're good people. How do you know they're good people? I mean, from what I have seen from the devs, like, that actually work for Activision, maybe some are cool. Like, this Chris Parson guy sounds pretty cool. And if he does take pride in his work, I'm so sorry he had to deal with this, truthfully. But then we have people in the Slack group chat threatening gun violence. We have people stealing breast milk from pregnant women or whatever, women that had just given birth at Activision Blizzard. It's just a mess. I don't want anything to do with these people. I want nothing to do with these people. They're just insanely weird, and from what I hear behind the scenes, they get into fights and scuffles all the time in the workplace. And speaking of fighting, let's segue into today's sponsor, because someone else who is known for MMA fighting is Joe Rogan. He's in extremely good shape at the tender age of like 56, 57, one of those. So fun fact, he actually bounced back from COVID in like 2 or 3 days because he takes care of himself. And one of the supplements that he's mentioned and talked about is NMN. Now, rather than me try to explain it, I'm going to let the doctor do it.
I also take supplements, and in fact, most of my colleagues are in the field of aging, or anti-aging, as people call it. So I take NMN every morning.
What is NMN?
Good question. So let me take a quick step back.
Sure.
So about 20 years ago, Lenny Guarente and a team of us at MIT discovered a set of genes that controls aging. And what they do is they protect all organisms on the planet, plants, bacteria, humans, from deterioration and disease. They're like the Pentagon. They sense when we're hungry, sense when we're exercising, and they send out the troops to defend us. And so we think that these genes are responsible for the effects of dieting and exercise, which is great. What that means is we can now mimic that with molecules.
So with NMN, you get improved energy, weight management, endurance, and strength, anti-aging. I mean, it's amazing. I've seen videos on YouTube of people taking it and they feel better, they feel stronger, they have more energy. And one of the things as a guy especially, we need to be strong in tip-top mental shape. And this stuff helps you do that. And another supplement you're going to hear a lot about as well is resveratrol. Now, this and NMN go hand in hand. And lucky for you, viewer, Black Forest Supplements has both. Take NMN first and your body will start producing NAD+, and that will start firing up all those abilities you had when you were 16, 17, 18 years old. So go check out Black Forest Supplements today. Links are down in the video description and the pinned comment. All right, guys, without further ado, let's get into the main story here. Love me some BFS supplements, but what I love just as much is seeing Activision fail. There's this weird narrative where like Activision cannot fail among fanboys. They're too big to fail. Well, what do you call this, viewer? Let's cover the news and let's cheer, give ourselves a hand, a little clap in the comments. Fresh off the press from Charlie Intel. Breaking, Activision is ending support for Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. There will be no new content and no more updates for the game going forward. Effective immediately, all in-game purchases are disabled. Server will remain online for anyone who still has it downloaded. It's getting the X-Defiant treatment, essentially. We deeply appreciate your dedication and passion for Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. Going forward, we will be streamlining the scope of the game. The decision was made after careful consideration of various factors, and while we're proud of the accomplishment in bringing Call of Duty Warzone to mobile in an authentic way, it unfortunately has not met our expectations with mobile-first players like it has with PC and console audiences. To be completely honest, it hasn't met expectations for console and PC audiences either. However, you still managed to find a way to milk the unhappy, disgruntled player base for every dime they have on, PC and consoles, so it more than makes up for it. It's great to see Warzone Mobile go the way of the dodo. It's great to see Activision fail. And while I feel bad for anyone who played the game and enjoyed it, all, 2,000 of you or whatever, it's a necessary thing that needs to happen to this fucking company for them to give us what we want. And all anyone wants, from the biggest fanboy to the biggest grifter and everyone in between, all people want is a fun game for everyone. And you can make it. You simply need to make a good game. Nero's been covering a bunch of these studies that have been leaking out behind the scenes. Activision are trying everything except just going to the fucking comment section of a Nero video or one of my videos or whatever and looking and seeing what people are telling them verbatim what they need to do to improve the series. They're running these tests where they're trying to give a randomized experience every prestige. And what I mean by that is you'll unlock things at random, different guns at random or whatever, as opposed to it being the same every prestige. They're testing that with a group of test subjects and whatnot. That's stupid stuff. No one wants this stuff. And yet, if you just go to the comments section of any Call of Duty YouTuber, I'm not even talking about just me and Nero, I'm talking Exclusive Ace, JGOT, anyone, you will see exactly what people want. Plain as day. You don't need to run these expensive studies, you fucking idiots. Look at this, seriously. This is from the comment section of Exclusive Aces video. These are people that are still trying to enjoy Call of Duty. God bless your guys' souls. Honestly, let's just read why they have quit. What they're just talking about why they have stopped playing the game. Horrible servers, horrible events, pushing weed like a dealer, skins that make no sense, shooting through people more often, and months to fix simple bugs. Yes, I've moved on. I had a moment of realization a few months ago when I stopped playing this game. I had a survey pop up asking if I had fun in the match I just played. I sat and reflected. I had gone positive and called in some kill streaks and had done better than anyone else in the match. But was it fun? No, it wasn't. The game wanted me to feel like I was having fun by giving me an easier lobby. This wasn't of my own doing by my skill being higher than everyone else's and giving me a sense of accomplishment. It was the game matching me via some algorithm to manipulate my experience. This behind the scenes algorithmic matchmaking feels awful once you realize what's going on. The experience being put into control of some algorithm rather than my own skill is what's killing this franchise for me. Pile on terrible support, bad maps, and the most boring weapon selection in a COD game in years, I'm burned out. Too strong SBMM, bad servers, especially in Warzone, bad anti-cheat system, uninteresting / no new content. These are the main reasons. It feels like we are playing a dead and forgotten game. For me, the biggest complaint I have with this game is the severe lack of identity in multiplayer. It's like Call of Duty has become the uncle that tries to act young and hip to impress the kids, Fortnite, but ends up just looking like a dork. That's all you need to see. Again, this is Exclusive Aces comment section. It looks like my comment section. It looks like Nero's comment section. It looks like JGod's comment section. It probably looks like Swag's comment section to a degree. People are sick of playing a bad fucking game with manipulative matchmaking. There is no other solution. You have the solution right here. If you don't do it, your franchise will continue to fail, much like Warzone Mobile did. We can talk about Call of Duty Mobile and how it's the shining example of what they need to do. I mean, let's be honest here. The reason Warzone Mobile failed is the same reason Black Ops 6 is currently failing. It's why Warzone was failing until they brought back Verdansk and tried to go back to the basics, although that honeymoon period ended in about a month because the anti-cheat doesn't exist still. It still does not exist, and it's probably worse than ever from what I have seen. On top of just the optimization issues, just that they cannot go one update, one like mid-season update without fucking something up royally, and people are sick of it. Look at this from Exclusive Ace, by the way. This is from his video covering verified data, okay, from Ampere Analysis. If we just compare Black Ops 6 to Modern Warfare 2, which was pretty much universally hated and saw a big drop in players, and then we compare it to Modern Warfare 3, which while initially was disliked and initially was hated, I mean, it's embarrassing. It is literally embarrassing. We've lost more players with Black Ops 6 than we did with Modern Warfare 2. And Modern Warfare 3, I mean, that was the only game I think people universally came together and praised as time went on. The only hope I have for this series anymore, and I can't believe I'm saying this, it's Sledgehammer Games. They actually gained a little bit of players from, November to March. Do you know why they retained players despite a relatively bad, I mean, let's be honest, a piss poor launch? It's because Sledgehammer Games simply tried to be creative and make a good game. They gave us some maps that were pretty solid, Like Meat was probably the best original map I've played on in a long time in Call of Duty. I mean, they were clearly trying. They clearly had passion for what they were doing. They were clearly trying to be innovative, and it worked, as you can see by the numbers. I'm not making any of this up. This isn't some just anecdotal evidence. This is literally hard data. Black Ops 6 is a colossal failure. I've been calling it the worst Call of Duty of all time. I mean, I can make an entire video on how it's the worst video game of all time. And I'm not being facetious there. I'm not just saying that to make a spicy video. I truly believe that. It's a game that makes me fucking sick to my stomach. Let me just share something with you guys, all right? Well, there's only one single Call of Duty game I did not hit at least Prestige 1 on, or like, go through the whole full level. And that was Black Ops 6 and Modern Warfare 2019. Black Ops 6, I couldn't even bear it. I cannot even bear to play it. It is, for my money, legitimately the worst fucking game I have ever played. And I'm not just saying that. I could go into detail on why I think that, but I covered why it's the worst Call of Duty game of all time. And it appears that after the honeymoon phase, I was pretty much right. I mean, we don't have the retention data for other Call of Duties, but this has to be one of the biggest drop-offs I have ever seen 4 months later for Call of Duty multiplayer. People have had enough. I don't think Black Ops 7 is going to sell very well, but I mean, they better be praying to God and thanking him for delaying that game another year is all I'm going to say. Guys, I'm out of time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Rate, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell if you did enjoy, and I will catch you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.